Every day I get up at 6:10, jump in the shower, get dressed in it downstairs. I grind the beans into the mocha pot and let it bubble on the stove. While it's brewing, I roll with Golden Virginia tobacco. It's just a one a day. If I wanted more, I'd have to switch to Rothman's Fine, a misleading name if there ever was one. I turn Classic FM on, just loud enough for me to hear it, not loud enough to wake anyone. When the coffee's ready, I pour a cup, take the cigarette, and sit outside at 6:30. When a moment earlier or later, whether it's pissing down or sub-zero or the wind is bellowing like a fart from God, I'll sit out there and enjoy a coffee and a cigarette, alone with my thoughts, letting them wander. Yesterday morning it was interrupted by Lizzie screaming. I belt up the stairs. Our kid's just sat there grinning. Blood all over his chin, his pillow and his sheets. Not a tooth in his gum. A pair of pliers on the floor caked in red. And a Hogwarts castle under construction. I was stunned. I asked him how. She said, never mind, I'll get him to Alder before he bleeds to death. The kid's just sat there laughing. Blood gargling as he cackles and smacks Ron Weasley in the face with his new wand from Willow. The day before we were in the Lego shop. He saw this Hogwarts castle set. May I have this please, Dad? He said. His man set him right on the manners. 350 quid. How about this one? I said, picking up Aragog's Lair. $12.99. If I'm really good, may I please have it for Christmas? I think we need about 3 Christmases to be able to get that, sorry mate. But Father Christmas gets it, why can't he just get it? How to gather this one without ruining the magic. Father Christmas only has a certain amount of tokens each year, and we need 3 years worth of tokens to be able to get that. His reply. But Matty Brown got a bike and an iPad and a PS4 Pro. Matty Brown's dad has more tokens. How come? He gets paid more. Don't you work for the same company? I work for this company. If you work for the same company, you should get the same. I laughed. Did I agree? Maybe not the same. I could see how that might not work. Maybe just not as big a gap. I asked him if he wanted the one I'd picked out. It's okay, I'll just use my imagination. I gave him a hug and bought him a pack of Smarties. In the car on the way home, he gnaws off the shells and eats the chocolate only when it's shaved bare. He asked me a question after stripping a pink one. Does the tooth fairy give you more money depending on what your parents' job is? I replied, no. The tooth fairy is fair. She gives out £1 for every tooth, no matter who you are. She's a good socialist. He nodded and stared out the window. Whilst the nurses prepped, I went for a coffee and a cigarette. The coffee scorched out the machine into the cup, pale and thin. My hands were shaking, so I bought a pack of Chesterfield Blues. I nearly quit there and then. My mind didn't wander as usual. It lasered onto one thought. The fuck came into my son's room last night? Threw up in the car park and then lit another cigarette from a trembling flame. When I went back, they were stitching him up. He said they'd dissolve when the wound's healed. The nurses kept telling me he was very brave. He goes, Harry Potter fought Voldemort when he was a teenager, that's brave. He said it was just a waiting game until his adult teeth grew. They gave me a note so he could take a couple of days off school. He smiles, I dart him a look, he puts his smile away until we get back to the car. Tell him it's not funny. He could have seriously hurt himself, damaged his teeth and his face for life. He scared me and his mum to death. He apologised. And then I had to ask the questions I didn't want to hear the answers to. Who gave you the Lego? The Tooth Fairy? He didn't have enough teeth in his jaw to get the spider, let alone bloody Hogwarts. I guess the Tooth Fairy can give you more if you really need it. Daniel, please. Who gave you it? I put the teeth under my pillow and when I wake up they were there. Daniel, the Tooth Fairy isn't real. I know. That's what makes it so strange. I laughed. Couldn't help it. He laughed too. Until he winced, which made me laugh even more. Until I cried. He asked me if I'm okay. Tell him I am. It's just been a weird day. Want to help me make it, Dad? I can't. Got to go to work. He smiles again. Wait till you check under your pillow.